What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Blue Side FC channel. I'm Nia Martin. I hope you're all doing great. Another busy week we've had in the transfer window, and yeah, we've seen many players leave in this transfer window. I think this is the busiest transfer window we've had. I've never seen this many players transferred out of Chelsea in any window. So this is also new to me. I know it's new to us too as well. But yeah, there have been big ones in the past week, and I want to talk about them. So let's get right into it. So let's start with the big one, the most divisive one, and it's Mason Mount joining Man United. You know how I feel about Mason Mount. I really hope that he will become one of Chelsea's legends. He would have a long period at Chelsea, and he would go on to at least have many goals and many assists with us and win more trophies with us. But it was never meant to be. It just pains me that somebody who was so dedicated to playing for Chelsea and all that they've ever wanted was to play for Chelsea, and it has ended like this. And there are so many different reports as to why this has happened, and some people blame the club, some people blame the player. I think it's a bit of both, because players value themselves. They know the value that they have, they know the value that they put on themselves. So if probably they see other players being valued above them, that can change their mind too as well. And on the other hand too, with the new board, they want performance. They didn't see him perform under their first year as owners. So that's what's making them make this decision. And it seems like what he's asking to, they don't want to meet it, and there are so many issues. They gave him a low offer. He didn't want that offer, and there are so many reports. There was a report that I read that I think from Football.London, saying that there was a verbal agreement between him and the board before the World Cup started, but remember, we appointed new sporting directors after the World Cup, and it seems like they were the ones who decided to renegotiate the agreement with Mount, and it didn't go well with the Mount team. Other reports that I've heard too was that he declined an agreement before the World Cup, and that one's from the TalkSports. I'll leave the links in the description below. That one was from TalkSports, which says that he declined an agreement before he left for the World Cup. So when he came back, there was already a breakdown in communications before that time. So when he came back, it just worsened with the new sporting directors, and yeah, and now we have this outcome. So Fabrizio Romano confirmed it on his Twitter account, and he gave a here we go. I think the previous bid from Man United was rejected, and they came with a better offer, and it was accepted. There was already a verbal agreement between Mount and Man United. The only thing left was the club accepting, and the club accepted. So when the club accepted, he went. I wish him all the best, except when they face Chelsea. I wish him all the best. We have to move on. We are Chelsea. We were Chelsea before he joined us, so we definitely have to move on. We've moved on from other players, and we will move on. So thank you, Mount, for all the years you've given us. I think it's 3 years that you've given us. No, 4 years that you've given us at Chelsea. Thank you so much. I personally have enjoyed watching Mount. I always like it when he scores a goal, he gets an assist. I'm just happy when academy players do well. I've said it here many times. I'm happy when academy players get into the team and do well. So I'm happy wherever the academy players are, as long as they are well, they are doing well, and they have good attitudes. I like them. So thank you so much, Mount, for all that you've done for us. I know this is very divisive. Some people hate him for leaving. Some people understand why he left. So yeah, Mason Mount is a Man United player. The next big transfer that happened in the week was Havertz to Arsenal. His own actually happened before Mount, but because of how big Mount's own was, that's why I decided to talk about Mount first. But Havertz, I think I said it in the last video that he was close to joining Arsenal. I think Fabrizio Romano even gave a here we go kind of, and said that they've agreed, so it's just left with the signing and everything. And but yeah, it was agreed, and they've unveiled him. They've done a video now unveiling him announcing him as a Arsenal player. I'm very sure they're not going to use him as a striker. They're going to use him as an attacking midfielder. That would utilize him more. We didn't in my opinion, I've said it before, in my opinion, we didn't utilize Havertz very well. When he was in the Bundesliga, he was playing behind the striker. He was the one assisting the striker. He was the one finding spaces for the striker. He was the one putting ball through defenses, but and occasionally taking shots. And he has a very good ability when it comes to taking shots and scoring. He has done some for Chelsea before. He has done some for the German team, but because we used him up, we used him forward, that was not his ability. And they were able to, like most defenders were able to, keep him out of the game, cut him out of the game. But he still tried his best. But I think the main issue that I had with him was he missed a lot of chances. He's a good finisher when he gets the ball, but at the same time, I don't know whether his positioning is an issue, but he misses a lot of chances. He hits the bar quite a lot. He does it so many times, so it's get frustrating when you see it many times like that. I don't think it's mainly his fault, but it happens. So all the best to him too in Arsenal at Arsenal. I'll never forget the goal that he scored to secure us the Champions League, and the wonderful goals that he has scored for us too as well. I'm eternally grateful to him, and I'm eternally grateful to Mount too as well, because Mount gave him the assist. Then that goal improved our history. He gave us two Champions League trophies, and I know a lot of teams didn't expect Chelsea to have a Champions League trophy in the first place, and yet alone too. So I'm happy for that, and I don't want Arsenal to win as a result. I don't want Arsenal to get better as a result of us giving Havertz to them. I don't want Man United to get better as a result of us giving Mount to them. But I still wish those players individual successes, so I wish them the best. So yeah, Havertz too is also now an Arsenal player. The next player I want to talk about is Ruben Loftus-Cheek joining AC Milan, and again we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that it was going to happen. Just a matter of time. He's gone to Italy. He's done the medicals. He's done everything. He's passed. He's signed the contract. So he's no more a Chelsea player. He's now an AC Milan player. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek is also a player whose time at Chelsea has been very difficult. Remember, he had that bad injury. It was an ACL injury. In that friendly game that we played just before, I think about a week or two before the Europa League final, which was pointless to me. I don't think he should have started. I don't know why we used our main players, our first team players, in that game, and it was a very horrible decision from Chelsea, and they messed up this guy's career, because that season he was flying. I remember him and Hazard just had this kind of good rapport going on, where Hazard would score a goal and you try and score a goal. They tried to help each other, they tried to assist, and it was fantastic in the Europa League. So it was a shame that he couldn't even play in the finals. He was injured before the finals, and he was out for many months. And when he came back, he was never the same. He went on loan, did okay on loan, and came back. And when he came back, I think he was still trying to pick up, and he kind of became like a utility player instead of the attacking midfielder that he is. He became a utility player, and it wasn't really good for him. It wasn't really the best for him. But I feel like when he goes to AC Milan, they'll utilize him well. Since it's a new player, they utilize him well, and I feel like he's going to smash it. He's going to be playing there with ex-Chelsea players, Fikayo Tomori and Olivier Giroud, who are currently playing for AC Milan, and they are going to welcome him into the team very well. I think he's going to do well. Giroud was flying last season. Tomori too was doing very well in the season that they won the Italian Serie A. So I think he's all right there. He's all right there, and he's going to do well. I really believe in that guy. He's very good. I think after the injury, Chelsea was not really the best club for him because of the players who were signing, and it seemed like his position was gone from the team. But this season, he was playing a lot, and I think all his performances, for me, he did well. I don't think he even put like a foot wrong. Anytime he came into the team, he was able to stabilize it. But we had bigger problems than just the midfield last season. So yeah, I wish Loftus-Cheek all the best. And he's also now officially not a Chelsea player, he's now an AC Milan player. So the other players that have left the club, confirmed to have left the club, I touched on it in the last video, but now it has been confirmed by Chelsea, and those two players are Koulibaly, Kalidou Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy. Kalidou Koulibaly joins the Saudi Arabia team Al Hilal, and Edouard Mendy joins the Saudi Arabia team Al Ahly. Both of them are now officially not Chelsea players, and they've joined. They've also gone to Saudi Arabia, and I also wish them the best, because things haven't gone well for them, especially Koulibaly, when we just signed him in the last summer transfer window, and he just had 1 year. It hasn't been the best, but he's going to make a lot more money than he was making at Chelsea. Him and Mendy, they are going to make a lot more money than they were making at Chelsea, so the money is also a big factor going there. I think with Koulibaly, I'm sure we could have kept him for at least 1 more year, but the money they're offering is good. I think the player that we wanted to let go was Mendy, and it was because of his errors last season, and he couldn't really gain that form that he had in the past. He was fantastic in our Champions League run, and the season after that he was very good. He was fantastic in our Champions League run, and he won so many awards. He won trophies with us, but unfortunately he couldn't really maintain that form and he was making a lot of issues. He had a lot of problems passing out from the back, and anytime the ball was with him I was very, very nervous. But I was really hoping that it was just a patch in his form and he would regain it, but he never really even got the chance to regain it because the moment he started making mistakes he was subbed out with Kepa. And it's, I can't really blame the team for doing that because I didn't like it, and my videos prove that I didn't like it. But at the same time, it was a very heated time at Chelsea. It was a very heated time for the coaches managing Chelsea. If they didn't do well, they were going out. I mean, last season we had 4 different managers. Immediately you get the chance, you have to shine, because if you don't shine, other players will come and replace you. So he's also leaving. He's also going to Saudi Arabian League. They're going to make a lot of moolah, and I wish them all the best. And thank you to both Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy for all the memories. They gave us wonderful memories, especially Mendy. Mendy gave us wonderful memories. Koulibaly, he was good in the beginning, and we really, really hoped that he would be like the next John Terry. It didn't work out. But Mendy, he has. I'm very happy that Mendy won a lot with Chelsea because he was the first black goalkeeper, the first African goalkeeper, and at least now when he's spoken about in history, he's spoken with trophies attached to his name because he won trophies, he won individual accolades whilst he was at Chelsea, and he's still going to go down in Chelsea's history as one of our best goalkeepers because he was very good in that season. So thank you to both of them. The last one I'm going to talk about is Ziyech, and with Ziyech, his move to Al Nassr hasn't really worked out, at least for now, because there's a problem in his medicals. He had a knee problem, I think, whilst he was running the medicals for them. So they checked it and they saw that there was an issue with his knee, so the transfer broke down. But we don't know yet whether Al Nassr would, from what I've read, we don't know yet. There's nothing been confirmed whether Al Nassr would make the deal happen again. We never know. We don't know. But once he failed the medicals, it's gonna be very, very difficult. I've not seen in situation like that where a player has failed medicals and the team has rejected him and come back for him again. I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be possible. But for now, he's still a Chelsea player. He hasn't moved yet. But it was almost done. It was just the medicals and then him signing the contract, and the medicals didn't turn out well. So Ziyech is still a Chelsea player, and probably by the end of the window he would have left the club and gone somewhere else. But for now, the Al Nassr move is not happening. So guys, when I was editing the video, I noticed that I hadn't talked about Azpilicueta joining Atletico Madrid. It's one of the bigger ones, one of the bigger moves. And yeah, it was reported by Fabrizio Romano on Friday that he is joining Atletico Madrid. Terms have been agreed. He's going to join on a free. I think Chelsea's allowing him to leave on a free as out of respect for him as our captain for a very long time. And yeah, he's going to sign, I think, later this week. He's going to do his medicals and sign later this week. Has been a fantastic captain for Chelsea. He took on the mantle very, very well, and he did his best. He has lifted the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup, every trophy. He has lifted every trophy that Chelsea has been involved in, the FA Cup, Carabao Cup. He has won it all. He has won it all with Chelsea. He's the man who has won it all, and I love this man to bits. And I wish him nothing but the best at Atletico Madrid. At first, it was rumored that he would join Inter Milan, but it seems like his heart is set on going back to Spain. It's not official yet, but when Fabrizio Romano gives a here you go, you know that it's almost official. But he's going to sign later this week, and he's no more a Chelsea player. But all the best to you, Aspi. You're a legend. He's a Chelsea legend, and you're going to miss him. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about in this video. I'll make another video for the new players that we've announced. We've announced 2 new players. I want to make another video for those 2 new players. And I wanted to put all in one video, but I don't want this video to be a long one. I don't want it to be a short one. So I'm going to make this video just about the transfer outs or the players out. And then I'll talk about the announcements in another video. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you enjoyed it to the end. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So till then, stay safe.